Right then, the title's already a spoiler for how the last episode went. Not great, but things got interesting in the Premier League. Unlike last year, we have a chance to retain it. Yeah, we didn't do so well with Sheffield United last year, but as Newcastle, we have reacted quite well to being beaten heavily by Man UFC and being knocked out of the Champions League in a situation that would have seen us go through in the era when away goals mattered. I'm not annoyed by that at all. Not in the slightest. Anyway, like I said, we reacted to that quite well. 5-0 against West Ham, 6-1 against Sheffield United, and 1-0 over Liverpool. But yeah, 5-0 against West Ham. They had a sending off relatively late on. Only 2 of those goals were scored after that, so we were still pretty comfortable up to that point. 6-1 against Sheffield United. It was 1-1 at half-time. Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored another hat-trick there, because you can't see it. It was basically entirely second string apart from Dominic. He was the only first teamer that actually was in that game apart from the goalkeeper. But back-to-back hat-tricks for Calvert-Lewin. The third of those 3 goals, absolute worldie. But Harry Winks took the penalty that we got in that because there was nobody better on the pitch. And speaking of penalties, we played Liverpool. They brought 7 players into their lineup. If you saw my Twitter, I put it on there. I had a little cry when I saw the players that they brought into that 11. Basically, the entire front 6 and Van Dijk were rotated back into the team. It's mad that they can do that. It's even madder they're 5th. They got a second-minute penalty, which Lewandowski took and was saved by Casteels. He also saved the rebound shot. So I love Casteels very, very much because 1 minute later, we went up the other end and scored. Nothing else happened in the game. All that means is 9 points from 9 and 4 points from 9 for Arsenal. We're now tied on the records thanks to the 5-0 and the 6-1. 2 goals better off in the goal difference as well. 3 games remaining. Norwich and Wolves are basically done for. Norwich still predicting 7th, by the way. I don't know what's going on there. The top 4 is essentially sorted. 5th and 6th already sorted as well, pretty much. There's not really a lot to play for elsewhere, except for the title, and who's 3rd and who's 4th, and who's 5th and who's 6th. Actually, 5th and 6th might matter because Leeds did win the Carabao Cup, and I don't know who's still in the FA Cup. I know Man UFC got knocked out of it by, I want to say, Villa, who we play now. What that effectively means is we need to just do as well as Arsenal over these remaining 3 games. Now, there's an injury to Willock, which isn't drastic, but a nice rotation option I would like to have, and Mbabu is fine to return to the bench, actually. I do notice. But the best news is, for the remaining 3 games, hopefully it stays this way, but we do have the full first 11 available for this one. Dina on a 6.58 last 5, I might just have a word with, actually, before we get into this. Dina, of course, who's gone to Aston Villa in real life. Am I the only one that thinks that's a ridiculously good transfer for them? I didn't actually run you through the 11, but like I said, it is the full first 11, which you should be familiar with by now. There it is again, though. Casteels, Lamptey, Sule, Diaz, Dina, Nianzel, Benacer, SMS, Makoko, Diaz, other Diaz, and Calvert-Lewin. And like I say, the only rotation on the bench as well is the absence of Willock. So in terms of actually the first 18, or 20 as it is now actually, because there's 9 subspaces, we're only missing 1 player. It's not a bad situation to be in 3 games from the end of the season, trying to get a title. Yeah, 25 million for Digne in real life is a really good acquisition for Aston Villa. I'm a little surprised he went to Aston Villa, actually. The Digne situation at Everton was the kind of situation I was expecting to play into like Newcastle's favour. Well, Icardi's chipped us, that's unfortunate. Yeah, they've got Mauro Icardi. Probably on the far end of his prime years, I would say, at this point, Icardi, 4 years in. But still dangerous, obviously. Silly missed the ball, that's unfortunate. But yeah, Digne's situation was absolutely the sort of situation that I thought Newcastle would capitalise on. And they just didn't. Especially with Jamal Lewis out for Newcastle. I really, really thought they'd be getting a left-back in. Because Matt Ritchie is useless at left-back. I said it before. Competent winger. Rubbish left-back. Too late. Benacer. Nianzao. I know he's effectively buddies with Eddie Howe, but stop playing him at left-back. We need a proper one. If Dummett's fit, at least put him there. At least he can defend, sort of. No, I know Dummett's a bit of a meme, but he is at least defensively minded. Meanwhile, Arsenal are beating Wolves, as you would expect, although they did draw in Norwich. So there's a highlight just before we go into half-time here. I was not expecting this. I was fully prepared to go into my half-time team talk there. But Makoko, if we can get the equaliser, makes my team talk a little different. Calvert-Lewin blocked Conser with a sensational block there. Means we do go in 1-0 down, despite having apparently the better of it. What was that? Just walk in that dressing room and go, what was that? And walk back out again. Makoko's on a 6.2. I've never seen a performance like that from him so far. So he's on a 6.4. Danny Ings has come on for an injured someone or other there. Can't remember who was behind it. That's the other Luis Suarez, of course, by the way. In case you're wondering. The Liverpool Luis Suarez will be about 38 at this point, I think. That's the younger one. Luis Diaz, Digne now. Nianzao, Makoko on that right-hand side, who's been booked again. I don't know why every time you see Makoko play, he gets booked. Newcastle are in their groove, says the text. Yes, clearly. Porter was the injured player. Politano's coming on. Aston Villa with the possession, though, in this highlight, and McGinn, of all people, has sprung the trap, and it's 2-0 Aston Villa. I'm bringing John Stones and Simicast on. I'm just taking everyone off who's on a booking. I don't know why as well. It's every time you see Sule, I don't know what the highlight was, but every time you see Sule, he doesn't play very well either. Don't know what it is. He's great when you're not. He's great when you're not here. My entire team has an average rating of 7 or higher, and we're 2-0 down. Our XG is 2.29. Has my game broken or something? Does my game understand that we've just lost? Because I'm not certain it does. Castiles is the only one with a bad rating. Icardi, who scored, on a 6.8. That was absolutely shameful. Absolutely shameful, I've just told a dressing room of players who have a rating of 7 or higher. You know, I said we could have an all-English semi-finals of the Champions League. Yeah, we've had an all-non-English semi-finals of the Champions League. All 4 English teams got knocked out in the quarterfinals. As Real do in Atletico. PSG and Inter on the other side. And Inter, I hope PSG turn this around, otherwise it's a little bit more embarrassing we lost to them. Although technically we never lost to them. Nearly. It's just dawned on me, Inter Milan is where we sent Kelleher. Well, that's unfortunate. 20 clean sheets in 47 games for them. At least he's grown into his potential, so it's a good job we did loan him out. So Manchester City don't do us any favours, unfortunately. We need to win this, and we kind of need to win this 2-0. I'm making 3 changes. Benacer because he's jaded and figure I can probably rotate him against Leicester. Simicast just because Dina put in 1 poor performance too many. And John Stones pops in for Sule, who, again, 1 poor performance too many. Sule had a really good game in the middle of his last 5, which is why his average rating is a lot higher. And you might have spied, John Stones was the 3rd highest average rating in the division. So, probably ought to have been playing him more. But Leicester are 16th, I think, or thereabouts anyway. Which is a little bit surprising because their back line is still the pretty promising Leicester back line we have in real life. Obviously, the goalkeeper's changed, but Thomas are left back, Sanchi, Fofana and Pereira, with Tielemans in front. Still got Barnes and Daka, and if Daka's anything like he was last year, they're very much underperforming. Okay, they're 13th. I think they had a good result last week. But yeah, it's a little bit surprising that they are as far down the table as they are. Once again, Leicester being severely underrated, I feel like, by the game. Happens every year. I don't know why. They do have an association with Football Manager de Leicester. You'd think they'd be accurately represented in the game. But alas, no, they continue to be underrated. It's actually kind of surprising that Fofana and Soyuncu are still there, actually. But Diaz has a free kick, I think. They said corner. Might as well have been. Stones has been injured. That's fun. Put them back on their correct side as well as Sule comes on. Makoko will put this corner in. Sule's there. He's hit the bar. It's been all Newcastle so far. All right, so in this episode so far, we've racked up a total of 3 XG and scored no goals. When will the luck break? We've had 68% possession. 68. All right, you lot, sort this out. Get the goal. Makoko. Is it going to be a defender who scores here? Sule. Yeah, no. Really, game? Really? So that's how it's going to be then, is it? Going aggressive for the last 15, bringing Sesko on for Harry Winks. Actually, I might just replace Nianzou with Toussaint as well for good measure, just because he's a bit tired. But going 4-2-4, Simicast is on 6.4, I just noticed. Probably should have taken him off. But SMS, don't know where that's going. The goalkeeper's got it. It's going to go to Barnes, and he will get it, but Lamptey's mugged him straight away. Diaz punted it to Makoko, who's going to release Calvert-Lewin, who may or may not be offside. He's gone a bit wide, so I suspect he's probably actually on, otherwise it would have been flagged by now. Simicast back to Ruben Diaz once more. I mean, look at the pressure we're putting on with the number of men forward we've got right now. It's gone to the back post, and Barnes has got it. Toussaint's taken it off him, though. Lamptey, this highlight's a little bit lengthy, but hopefully it results in something useful. Makoko, finally. I don't have any more substitutions, do I? No. Stop telling me to make substitutions. Makoko, though, buries that. Thank you. Thank you. 18... Oh, they've got a corner. Oh, and they've got another corner. Cool. Cool. We score, and finally, Leicester start getting down our end of the pitch. I see how it is. But we've got a corner now, and hopefully we can seal this. Nope. The wrong person gets on the end of the corner. But if we can get a second and kill this off, that'll be lovely. Luis Diaz heads that on to Calvert-Lewin, who heads it towards the goal. Curious move. A second goal would be nice, but I don't know what one goal does to the overall goal difference. I think that puts us 2 goals behind Arsenal again. It does. Now Diaz is a little jaded. So the important question here then is goals scored, which we have. So basically, win and we win. As long as we win, the goals 4 are in our favour. that even a 1-0 margin will do it. Right, not a lot of worthwhile games point-wise being played, but a couple of local bragging rights to be sorted out. Tottenham, West Ham, Merseyside derby as well. First v second, though. Sometimes I think this game is somewhat scripted. So this final crucial game, Castile's in goal. Tsimikas is going to remain at left back. Diaz, Soulé, Lamptey, Nianzou, Benacer, SMS. Keeping that back as it is. Luis Diaz, Mokoko, said that weird. DCL up front. But I said DCL got a goal again, actually. 36 for the season is a lot. I was expecting him to hit 40 the way he was banging in those hat-tricks. One thing I am confused about is why neither SMS or Benacer got fully cohesive with their roles. It's been a year. Everyone else is fine. Well, that's not a great start. It's a corner, though. Benacer's going to take it. It's hit the bar again. Don't know who got under it. Might have been Soulé. Probably was Soulé. Looks to be another corner for us. It is indeed. Benacer is going to whip this back in again. It's Nianzou who's there for it for some reason. Might need to have a look at the corners real quick. Since it seems to be those players who are getting to it, I'm just going to... Yeah, it seems to be the player on the post that's actually getting to the ball, so I'm just going to swap those over and hopefully get Soulé under them, provided we get any more corners, of course. The deep free kick for them, and they've gone interesting with it. Nianzou's on a booking. I was worried about that. Nianzou's still on the booking, and he is hunting that player down. Odegaard, back out to Weigl. I mean, with a man advantage, you expect them to do something here. Probably should put the wingers on support, and Ferran Torres has scored. This has gone awfully. We don't really need to see that one again. We are having the better game despite being a man and a goal down, according to the statistics. So that's fun. I don't think we've had a red card all season. Ramsdale throws it to White, and we get the ball straight off them. Nicely done. Calvert-Lewin, if he's onside, bury it, mate. What are you doing? Other side, across the goal. Even I could see that Ramsdale had the near post covered. Benacer, Lamptey, Soulé, Nianzou. We'll get it to Calvert-Lewin, and we actually are moving this ball relatively well. Mokoko. So that as if we were surprised by it, but Mokoko across to nobody. Nianzou's on the edge of the box. Can I have a crack? No. Tsimikas. Forward to Luis Diaz. This game isn't over. 51 minutes on the clock. Still plenty of time to go, even with 10 men. It's been headed clear, and actually it might be a chance for them after all this. That's annoying. But Benacer's intercepted a wayward pass, as I just took a breather. Mokoko, Benacer, Calvert-Lewin. I was bracing myself for an inevitable goal for them. Luis Diaz kicks it at Ramsdale. Mokoko's there. Great block. It's a corner, I think. It is, and we're seeing it. Hopefully Soulé's under this. He is. He's hit it straight at Ramsdale. It's another corner. Benacer puts the ball back in. It's Soulé once again, and it's just over this time. Couldn't tell if Ramsdale got another hand to it. Neither fullback's going particularly well right now. I think I'll just wait for them to get a little bit more tired before making those changes. Or not. Both fullbacks being replaced. Benacer's got another corner. I was about to demand something of them, and that's gone to the middle for some reason, not the near post. Saka and Mbabu tackles. Diaz. Soulé. Back to Mbabu. Mokoko now. Kicks it at Weigl, and it's very fortunate that it ends up still in Arsenal possession. But Odegaard. Back to White. We are pressuring quite high still. Tomiyasu. Just gives it to Luis Diaz. Inwards to Nianzou. Forward to Calvert-Lewin. Forward to Benacer. Mokoko's been played in. I so thought he'd scored. We've had 9 shots on target with 10 men. How are we being XG'd? How are we being FM'd with 10 men? Tierney on the ball. Weigl. Diop. I kind of want him to get like a nice, good, clear-cut chance. Not a penalty. Tech says that's harsh. I think the ref's on the take here. First he sends off SMS. Now he's given a penalty for a harsh one. Is he going to send Nianzou off as well? Actually, for good measure. Yeah, he's on the take. Clearly, this ref. Not a lot I can do here. Penalty for Castiles to maybe save, and he does. Good. Right answer. Castiles just punts it forward to Calvert-Lewin scores here. That would be hilarious. I mean, this is stupid. Soulé shoves it forward. Oh, God. We've got 9 men. Poor Benacer. I'm just wondering, if I do that, it seems harsh to Luis Diaz, but bring the 2 Volantes on. I think we've got a corner for Arsenal here, which is going so slowly. I think it's reset my bloody... No, it hasn't. Diop puts it in. Headed clear. Saka just walks past the challenge. That's always nice to see. Corner for them again. Maybe this one won't be seen. It is, but hopefully it'll round out soon as Saka smashes that over. It's a corner to Benacer, and Soulé's still on the pitch. He's hit the bar. Again. It's a long throw for Mbabu. I don't know what's going on here. Soulé's going to get to it. To put the ball in, it's been cleared. It's been moved around by Arsenal on the edge of the box. I don't know if this is just because we're getting quite close to the end of the game. Oh, there's only 3 minutes of added time. I have no idea, by the way. I was half expecting the ref to blow the whistle before 90 minutes. Tackled by Makoko. I mean, this is a stupid game. Why is the nonsense game happen to the very end? The very, very end. There's always one nonsense game a season. I thought it was the 4-0 against Man United because I don't know what happened there, but enjoy your corrupt title. Your side collected a number of cards today. They collected 4. Oh, Dini got one late on, actually. Additional response. Clearly, the referee was on the take. Still got 37 million for that. But yes, it's more frustrating to lose a match where the standing officiating. Yes, we lost because of the refs. No way, it's a red card. For the review time, new arrivals. I'll probably get fined for those comments, but never mind. John Stones was one of the best players in the division. Lotano had good games when he played. Anel had good games when he played. Ruben Diaz, it's great all season. Messi actually had a good rating overall in the end, but SMS's overall performance was pretty good too. I mean, it's still an A rating overall. Still second. Still 30 goals for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They're disappointed with the quarterfinals. They wanted semi-finals. All right. Well, we would have been in the semi-finals if away goals were still a thing, so not my fault. One off on the FA Cup as well. We beat Sheffield United 11-1 on aggregate. I just realised over the course of this season. Actually, the best 11 has Simicas in it, surprisingly. Castile's in goal. Sule, Stones, no Diaz. No Diaz at all. Odd. Lamptey, Toussaint over Nianzao as well. Benacer, SMS, Makoko, Luis Diaz, and Calvert-Lewin. Front 5 unsurprising, but surprises going backwards. Record breakers for Calvert-Lewin, Luis Diaz for assists. Player of the matches for Calvert-Lewin as well. Obviously transfer fees either way. Player of the season, Calvert-Lewin, young player Makoko signing Chesney, despite the fact, SMS played the entire season and got goal of the season. I don't know how he got goal of the season. It was only a 19-yard strike. Calvert-Lewin's was further away than that and better. As a new highest points without winning the title. I mean, obviously that's a lie in real life, but for the game. Overall best 11, Makoko, Simicas and Ruben Diaz have entered it. 2 of those on the bench though. Makoko takes Adeyemi's place as well, who I think was there. Or Sam Maximan might have been there. Not sure which of them was there before, but little surprised that Gagliardini makes it in the middle there, still over, say, Joe Willock, who's been here longer and probably played more games overall. Still did that objective, though. Winning the title wasn't actually the board's recommendation. Next year, though, not that we're going to be here next year, Euro Cup, really? Top 6. So, once again, always say what the board wants, and it all goes fine. English Football of the Year for Calvert-Lewin, of course he is. Player of the Year, and obviously top goal scorer, 30 goals in 32 appearances in the league. I think he got all but 2 Young Player of the Months. 1 clean sheet separated the top 3, goalkeeper-wise as well. That's a hilarious best 11. How did more of my players not make that? Considering how a close run thing it was, how did more of my players not make that? I understand the fullbacks. Luis Diaz had 19 assists. How is he not in this? I've just seen an achievement pop up. Now was the time they decide to do this? Construction of the Kevin Keegan Arena. Oh dear. Not Bobby Robson. If they were going to do this, I was expecting Bobby Robson. The Kevin Keegan Arena. I'm just glad it's just not the Newcastle Arena like it sometimes is. Cost around 264 million. This figure will be offset by the 29 million the club will receive by selling St James's Park. Of course, I suppose they will have to, won't they? The board had lied that they've been able to finance the project without having to secure any external funding. Additional funding for the project has been secured with a stadium sponsorship deal worth £100 million. Whilst it's the Kevin Keegan Arena, we've got, I did get fined by the way, I just noticed up there. And we actually finally get category 1 in the youth again. But 264 million, is that just going to come straight out of our money? Or was it like over time? No, it's here. It's ground maintenance. It's in the expenditure, but we've also gained 234 million. So I think there must be like secondary sponsorships alongside that 100 million. Because the income actually outdoes the expenditure, remarkably. I just want to see if there's any other interesting news before we wrap everything up here. And Gerrard sacked by Liverpool for being 5th. I'm just going to pop this screen on the background as I talk about a couple of things, but that does wrap the entire series up. You can see the best performance for this particular season. Some of them, of course, have been good performers over the course of the entirety of it, but like Sam Maximan, for instance, and Barber's actually been quite good once he got over himself, finally. Benacer, obviously very solid. Luis Diaz has been sensational for 2 years. I'm going to keep an eye on Luis Diaz in any other save I do because, good lord. Same with Makoko, of course. Sesko, I don't think I ever got the best Sesko. I've seen better Seskos as well. Nor do I think I got the best Adeyemi. But I've definitely seen Sesko better than this. Just the potential that he hasn't grown into yet, I suppose. But I didn't really play him in lieu of Calvert-Lewin. I think Sesko is one of those players you kind of need to get at a less financially well-off club, let's say. Like a club that can buy Calvert-Lewin, get Calvert-Lewin. But a club that Sesko is kind of the most affordable option, get a player like Sesko, and then you can play him more and you can develop more. I suspect is probably the deal there. This may not be the end you see of Newcastle. I may resurrect it on stream at some point later in the year. So I wouldn't say goodbye to these players just yet. Just ta-ra for now. Unlike last year with Sheffield United, this Newcastle team, I do feel like there's more of a pull to finish the unfinished business, let's say. More of a pull to try and get that Champions League, try and become ultimately massively dominant in England. But for now, on YouTube, I think it makes sense to end it here. As I've sort of explained both on Twitter and I think somewhere along the way in these videos, I've kind of only got the time to be doing either Twitch or YouTube at this point in time. I started the YouTube as a way of maintaining a schedule in a period of my life when I didn't have a schedule. I appreciate all the views, the comments, the time that people are giving me on here. I hope you'll join me on Twitch. I hope you've enjoyed this save and all the other previous saves. I've had a cracking time doing all of them. I found memories of all of them, even the ones that kind of ended prematurely. Looking at you, Bradford, the first one. I think there's unfinished business here. Expect to probably see this later on in the year at some point on the Twitch. Obviously, that's going to be linked down below. Please follow me on Twitch over there. I will be live semi-regularly. It's just that kind of deal. The amount of time it takes to play through, record, edit, and upload episodes on YouTube, I might as well just go on Twitch for 1 or 2 times. You know, the amount of time it takes to play through even. If I'm doing it on Twitch, then you see the entire process as well. I get to interact with you live as well. It's not just me sat here in my Todd talking to myself. That's it. It's been a blast. Also, I should say before I absolutely go here, it's not the end of the channel either, of course. There will be the occasional experiment, you know, things like the county experiment, which I will look to redo at some point, and any other idea that I can think of, basically. So we'll have that, and of course I will have the season reviews from Twitch, along with maybe just the odd clip or highlight as well. That's a thing that seems to be more commonplace in this era of YouTube. Obviously, the YouTube Shorts or whatever it's called. I might look into that as well for bringing over some of the interesting moments from the Twitch saves. I don't think I have the time to bring like the entire Twitch saves over, so they'll remain in the VOD section on Twitch. But maybe little bits and pieces alongside the overall season recaps. But for now, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me over the last few years. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll see you on Twitch instead. Until then, ta-ra.